Hello and welcome to the Big Music Show here on NVTV. Coming up this week, we'll be meeting one of the UK's top blues singers and blues guitarists. Danny Bryant is going to be here playing live and telling us all about his brand new album, Revelation. And if you're a fan of the music of Johnny Cash, then make sure you stick around for JP Mac and his Cash Returns tribute to the Man in Black. But starting us off on the show this week, a singer-songwriter from Belfast is about to release his new EP, which is called Treasure Chest. Here is Michael Kerr.
Yo, baby, baby, don't stop. I got a feeling a long shot, but you've been working on, don't stop, just to keep on keeping on. Just have a little faith, just have a little faith, have a little faith in yourself. I've seen the rocks and now I'm at the face. I don't really know what to really say. Sometime down this road we go to take a break. Look down and look out and everything the way for you. Yeah, you won't believe. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. 'Cause I got a feeling like a long shot, but you've been working on, I'm gonna stop, just to keep on keeping on. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. 'Cause I got a feeling like a long shot, but you've been working on, it's gonna stop, just to keep on keeping on. Yeah, have a little faith, just have a little faith, have a little faith in yourself. Some people walk through these today. I don't really know how to find a way, yeah. I know that this road we take won't fade away. It's full of all the things that your heart desires. I can feel your fire. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. 'Cause I got a feeling like a long shot, but you've been working on, it's gonna stop, just to keep on keeping on. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. 'Cause I got a feeling like a long shot, but you've been working on, it's gonna stop, just to keep on keeping on. Yeah, have a little faith, just have a little faith, have a little faith in yourself. Don't stop, don't stop, don't stop, just keep on keeping on. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. Oh baby, baby, don't stop. Oh baby, baby, don't stop, just keep on keeping on. Yeah, baby, don't stop, 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 just keep on keeping on. Oh baby, baby, don't stop, 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 just keep on keeping on. Yeah, have a little faith, have a little faith, have a little faith in yourself.
So we've heard him perform. Let's meet the man himself, Michael Kerr. How are you, sir?
I'm good. Thanks very much for having me in, Robin.
You are very welcome. Congratulations on the EP. It's out now. It's called Treasure Chest.
Yes, thanks very much.
It's been a while in the making, really, hasn't it?
It has. There's a lot of factors that sort of contribute to you releasing something, but I think it's been about 4 years since I released something, but now the time is right to release something again.
Now, when I first met you, it was probably about 10 years ago. You were just kind of starting out in the business, so it's been kind of a long journey to get where you are today, hasn't it?
When I first started out, the first focus was to make a living playing music, so you were doing your usual cover gigs and stuff like that, and then the original stuff would come as a side projects, and if anything happens with it, it does, and if it doesn't, then you still have your living to go back to.
So for this EP, I believe you got some help from the Arts Council.
Yes, the Arts Council were very generous. They gave me quite a nice sum of money to help make the EP, which was a great help. So it meant that I could afford to bring in producers and the very best musicians and use the best studios and not really have. Well, you have a budget, but it's a good budget, and you're not scrimping and saving, and you can just go full guns blazing with it.
Now, Gareth Dunlop is doing really, really well at the minute. How did you convince him to get on board to produce this?
Do you know, it was a case of stars aligning. So, I mean, he's got his own stuff going on, and he's just released his own album, and he just sold out the Mandela Hall as well. And for some reason, when I got in contact with him, he had a window there that we could work with, and it was great. You know, it's cool. I've been looking to work with Gareth I've known him for over about 7 or 8 years, and I've been down to work with him ever since then. So the time was right, and as I say, the stars aligned, and we got together.
So tell us about the EP, Treasure Chest. Obviously all original songs written by yourself. Is there a kind of story behind the EP?
Because Gareth was producing, the process was I would give him about 40 songs, and he would pick the 5 that he could work with, and all the songs that were chosen, I would maybe have chosen 2, and he chose the rest. And the songs that he chose, I didn't really think would have made the EP, but it was when we recorded them and he put his own sort of taste on it, you realise that it was the right choice, So there's songs about love, there's songs about just keep on doing what you're doing and stuff, and but there's quite a mixture there. I try not to make it all about one thing, and to try and put a bit of everything in there,
There is a love I'm searching for. It is my quest. It is my goal. I will not tire. I must not rest until I find my treasure chest. I'll search you up to the moon, reach for the stars if I have to. I will not rest, I must not tire until I find my heart's desire. Some search the world for precious stones. They sacrifice their blood and bones. A heart's not a thing you can possess. It must be one. That is the quest. And there will be love. You'll try your best. Stop the hurt. Though the race, there are no answers when you feel the pain. No one's at fault, no one's to blame. They can't tell you just what to feel. They let you know when love is real. It takes a chance on who to choose. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Oh, find my heart to go, I'll be the richest man I've ever known, and I'll be richer than I've ever known. When I find my heart to go. Where is this love that I'm searching for? That is my quest, that is my goal. When I'm tired, I must not rest until I find my treasure chest. It is the fire, it is the best. It is my wealth, my treasure chest.
So what's the long-term plans then? What's the next big goal you want to do?
Well, I suppose get this EP launch out of the road. Hopefully, try and get it sold out, and then is the real challenge is it's keeping it going. So, I mean, I'd love to go over to London and start doing more in the south. So hopefully, in a year's time, I've done a few shows over there, and then, but this time next year as well, I'll get more funding and record another EP and just keep it going. You know, so it's just about, you know, just keep doing the right things, and then if something happens, it happens. But if it doesn't, you know, let's try not to take it too seriously now. You know, you just gotta do what you do, and then see where it goes. So.
What about if there's anyone in the world you could tour with, who would it be?
Noel Gallagher.
Yeah, right, okay.
Yeah. I don't know if he like my stuff, but it's yeah. Well, I've been listening to his stuff for. That was the stuff that made me pick up a guitar. So, yeah, definitely. If I could do it, I would do it.
They're coming to Belfast this summer, aren't they?
Yeah, well, maybe you never know.
You never know.
Try and squeeze myself in there for a support slot. You never know.
So, Michael, if people want to find out more about Treasure Chest and find out more about you, how do they do that?
Website www.michaelkerrmusic.com, and I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, all those social media things. So you can find me anywhere, and you can sort of download the stuff on iTunes and stream it on Spotify and Apple Music and stuff.
So, Michael, thank you for joining us today, and the very best of luck with the EP Treasure Chest. You're going to do another song for us now. Tell us about this one.
This is a song that we've. It's called Butterflies. It's the opening song of the EP. Yes, it's a nice little love song.
So, Michael, thank you once again for joining us in the studio today. Right, some more music, and this time, as promised, performing Butterflies, here is Michael Kerr.
Clouds floating upon everyone, but the rain doesn't seem falling out on me. I wonder what it could be. Well, I don't know just what it is, baby, but whatever it is, it's driving me crazy. I guess I was wrong about so many things. Cause the only thing I want now is a little lot of things, and yeah, a little bit of love, a little bit of hope, a little bit of something that keeps me holding on. Yeah, a little bit of life, your love in the skies, and those butterflies. My night is come. That clouds floating upon everyone, but the rain doesn't seem falling out on me. I wonder what it could be. Well, I don't know just what it is, baby, but butterfly. My chick, my chick, my chick, it's just a little bit of love, a little bit of hope, a little bit of something that keeps me holding up, a little bit of life, love in the skies and those butterflies. Yeah, those butterflies you give me every time that I see you. Yeah, those butterflies you give me every time that I see you.
Now we're going to talk to JP Mack from the Cash Returns tribute to Johnny Cash. And I suppose, JP, when you think about Johnny Cash, you think about that famous prison gig from the 1960s, and it must be about 50 years ago from that gig.
13th of January 1968 was the famous date. It was the album was comprised of two halves. It was like they did a morning session and they did an evening session as well. Most of the album is made up of the second part. It's a great album, like just hearing the warding through the tan noise and everything. You're going to get to hear a bit of the crowd in there as well. Like, it's great atmosphere. It's a great album.
And it was just such an iconic event, wasn't it? It was the first time anything like this had been done. It kind of grabbed the whole world, really, didn't it?
Yeah, at the time it was just unheard of for, especially Johnny Cash. Like, he was a God-fearing kind of man, but they go into a pile of inmates and then to be seen to be giving them a good time, to give them like a concert. I think Columbia at the time as well, his record company, they were a bit miffed at it, but nobody kind of would have seen how well it was going to come across and how popular it was going to end up being. Still, even now, it's one of the top albums out there that just keeps being bought.
So do you remember the first time you became aware of the music of Johnny Cash?
Yeah, it was back home in Strabane. There's a thing called a back-to-back competition. And it was the very first time I got asked to play live music. It's part of a pub thing where pubs go off against each other, and you get to pick two songs. But before that weekend, I heard this song on the jukebox in Dicey's, and I asked Hen, the guy who worked behind the bar. I was like, "What's that song?" And he goes, "Oh, it's Johnny Cash, Hurt." And I was like, "That's brilliant! I love that sound." So. Back in the day, it was about 2002, 2003, we didn't have Wi-Fi in the home, so it was straight to the library, printed off the chords, printed off the lyrics, and I just went upstairs and it was the first time I probably found out that I could have that similar kind of baritone range.
Yeah.
And when I was listening, and then when I sat down with it, I didn't tell anyone because before then I didn't really know anything. I think Ring of Fire probably was the height of my knowledge in Johnny Cash. So we went to rehearsals and I threw it out. I had two other songs picked, but I asked the people I was along with, would they hear this? So I threw it out there, and everybody kind of looked up, kind of funny. They're going, where did that come out of, you know? So that weekend then we went to we made it to the final at that stage, and I played that song, and it was the reaction that it got. We ended up winning, our team won that evening, and then people said, you've got to do more of the Johnny Cash stuff. So I learned Ring of Fire after that. Had to, and after that then it was just it started to spiral. People started to hear about the Johnny Cash guy, which I'm still known as. I've lost all sense of identity now.
But it is scary because you've got the movements, because for Johnny Cash it's not just the voice, there's that unique way that he holds the guitar, isn't it?
There's a couple of things, because I'm not 6'3", I think, and I'm from Tyrone. What you got to do is, I've watched the videos, and he had a certain kind of way. He held his arm behind the guitar, and he usually would have picked it up and down and kind of used it as a gun, would have aimed down the barrel, so to speak. And then he did a lot of head tilting especially in the 50s. But I think that might have been more to do with barbiturates and things he was dabbling at the time, where he would have held it back, and then he had this Arkansas draw where he would have lifted the lip. So wee things like that. I don't like going into too much. I like to do a point where Johnny Cash meets JP rather than going full as an impersonator. I try to be more, I use the word tribute than an impersonator, you know, because I know I'm not going to look like him. So, but if you do things like that, and you do the head and you lift the guitar, people warm to it, like, you know.
And of course, the ultimate thing must be when his drummer said you were great. Then he gave you this massive tribute, didn't he?
That was weird. It started with, I just recorded 2 songs. I recorded Folsom Prison Blues and I recorded Hurt. With a guy from home, a guy called Peter Doherty, and I just stumbled across it. There was something come up online on Facebook or something about JohnnyCashRadio.com. It was a Tennessee-based radio station, internet station, and I looked through all the DJs, and I seen then that there was Ron Haney plus W.S. Holland, and I was like, I'll just wing them an email, just no chance there, you know. And I just told them a little bit about myself, and I sent an MP3 across, and I got an email instantly from Ron Haney asking could I send over hard copies, picture, and just a bit of general information on myself, which I did. And I thought I was going to get it maybe a wee bit of a play, and then that was it. Just to go, here's cash returns, but what I got back was they played the 2 songs and they did like an in-depth, I think it's about 12-13 minutes.
Wow. And
then when I heard W.S. Holland say how much that sounded like the proper, like he was listening to the drums because he's a drummer, and because he just thought he wanted to see us play. And I've been talking to him in between, Ron Haney and himself, and looks like, fingers crossed, that we'll be doing something later in the year.
Oh wow. So you haven't been out to America performing yet?
I haven't been out, but there's a bit of talk going on, shall we say, and we're hopefully, fingers crossed, if everything pans out, we can, it'll be great. Because at the end of the day, like this guy sat behind Johnny Cash for 40 odd years in some of the biggest, like San Quentin, Folsom, some of the, I think, Madison Square Gardens as well, I think, where he filled it. Like some stories that man could tell, you know. He's the only one with the left as well, Marshall Grant, and sadly Bob Wooten passed away as well. So he's the only guy left at the minute, like, so it was nice to get that feedback.
So your show, Cash Returns, is doing great business here in both north and south of Ireland, isn't it?
Yeah, it started off, it was only meant to be a one-off show. Crumlin Road Jail in Belfast here. I got an email. I didn't know about the Crumb. I thought it was still a functioning prison. And I got a phone call saying, look, we've come up with this idea. We think it would work really well. Obviously, the Johnny Cash and the jail thing, like, you know. So nervously I said, yes, let's do it. Look, then I found out then that it was a visitor attraction, which kind of took a little, I was relieved, but at the same time a little bit disappointed, shall we say. But it was December 2013, and I found out then that it sold out, and we went and played. Like it actually takes place in where the chapel used to be. After the December gig, we decided to do 2 more in the January, and the 2 dates, they sold out. And then after that, the people were coming from Tyrone down Fermanagh, and then they were taking this with them and then saying, so we ended up then the news started to get out. Brilliant. And it's more north based at the minute, but we've recently done a gig over in Holland. We're going back again now in August, later in the year, for a big festival. And then we're doing bits and pieces in England as well, and so we've got some gigs scheduled for down south as well. So fingers crossed, and hopefully we'll get over the pond, over to America as well, to get a couple of gigs over there too, maybe.
Great stuff. And if there was a fully functioning prison watching this now, would you play a real prison?
There was talk. I'm not going to mention which prison, but there was. I would do it. I'd be nervous. It would probably be more of like I'd say was the challenge of it, because it must have took some nerve. Yeah. I think Cash is, you know, like, he was a God-fearing man, but at the same time there was a real dark side to him, and I think
Yes.
that he played up to it, and I think that's what he got.
He took a risk bringing June Carter on stage as well.
He
'cause
took
you
a-
think those guys hadn't seen a woman for God knows how many years.
I know, like I was like, I think it was mentioned in the book as well. Something they were expecting a bit of. I think the worst they got was a bit of wolf whistle.
Yeah.
But it could have got a lot worse than that, shall we say? Like I think it was a brave man taking his wife out on stage. But I think she had a gift of the gab as well. She was able for them as well. If she could handle Johnny Cash, she could handle any of them boys.
And of course, your show as well. You do travel with a June Carter, don't you?
We do. Up until recently, up until January, my sister actually played June Carter, so we had to watch it. It was not very biblical, but then a little family popped up, and they need her more than we need her at the moment. So we did a bit of audition. We got a new girl in, and we auditioned from all over. But it ended up like another girl from Strabane as well, a girl
Right.
called Kim Crumley, who's doing a brilliant job at the minute. Like so, yeah, she keeps us right.
And it has to happen because everybody wants to hear Jackson, don't they?
As soon as you walk on the stage, you could be 2 or 3 songs in. Where's June Jackson? You're gonna go, and you know where in the set list near the end it's going to be. So you're going to go. You're going to have to put up for a bit. But yeah, it's just an iconic song. I think it's more to do with it's not a love song, but at the same time, there's a lot of to and fro in between the verses. That it's a couple at each other's throat, but they're underlying. There's like a real love there as well. It's just that it's a great song, and plus that wee lick as well on the banjo and the guitar as well.
If you had to choose one of his songs, what's your favourite?
There's a song written, performed by Billy Oldham, Bonnie Prince Billy he's called. It's a song called I See a Darkness. And Johnny Cash covered it in the American recording sessions with the time he was working with Rick Rubin. It's one of the songs that probably, the lyrics mean a lot to me. But I would say, because it depends what kind of mood I'm in as well, but I would say the most important song, I would say, would have to be Hurt.
Yeah.
From the lyrics and that because the song was written by Trent Reznor from Nine Inch Nails. It was a song about heroin addiction. But when you see the video when Johnny does it, and a wee interesting fact about that video as well was that there's a shot where Johnny's sitting on the seat and then June Carter walks in behind him and rests her hands on his shoulders. Mm-hmm. The day before she went to film that shot, she found out she had terminal cancer. But because she knew she was going to be taking the shot, she didn't want to annoy anybody on set or annoy anyone in the family, and kept it to herself. And then 4 months to the day she passed away, Cash passed away as well. So there's a poignancy underlying on that as well. Yes. And that bit with the very end of the video where he brings down the little piano and then he rubs his hand across, gets you right there. It's poignant stuff.
And do you do a thing called Love?
We do that as well, yes. Because we couldn't afford a choir, we'd get June to kind of lead get the crowd going and that. Like, so it's a bit funny that when you play the likes of Crumb and No Jail, and then that kind of sound, and you get them all to sing, it's brilliant.
Great stuff. Any dates for the diary that we should know about coming up soon?
We've got a big one coming up in the Millennium Forum diary for the 1st of June. And then we've got, before that then, we're in Armagh City Hotel on the 26th of May. And then we have one in Newry at the Canal Court on the 16th as well, the 16th of June. So we're looking forward to those. They should be big nights. Like.
So the very best of luck with those dates, and let's hope you get to America sometime soon as well.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we'll get over. We'll keep you posted.
Thank you.
Dead of night, back door slam, midnight creep, I'm your other man. Hotel downtown, room by the hour. You forget why you came, and she slips in the shower. Bag of gold slides back on her finger. Fire goes out, but the guilt will linger. And I know it's wrong, and I should just forget her. I know it's wrong, this guilty pleasure. I should move on and just live without her, but I can't live without my painkiller. Car pulls out the drive, disappears up the road. Phone's off the hook and the lights are down low. I lean on the bell, I slip inside like a thief in the night with a perfect crime. Your lipstick on my shirt, your scent on my skin. Never really mattered, it didn't mean a thing. And I know it's wrong and I should just forget it. I know it's wrong, this guilty pleasure. I should move on and just live without her, but I can't do without my pain killer.
So there we go, a great blues tune there from Danny Bryant, and the man himself joins me in the studio. Danny, how are you, sir?
I'm good, Robin. Thank you. Nice to be here.
Good. Have you been in Belfast before?
Yes. Well, actually, my wife is from Cumber.
Right,
So,
okay.
And we met years ago when I played in Belfast. Her mum dragged her along to a gig to see me, and the rest is for our history books, you know.
So you're in town today to promote a couple of gigs coming up as
Yeah.
well, and I believe there's a new album coming out as well.
Yeah, we have a new album called Revelation, which is out on the 20th of April. It's kind of a diverse album, but it's blues rock, and yeah, it's a lot of fun. So we're over here, we're doing some rehearsals. Tonight we're doing a secret show, and yeah, and we're here visiting you, which is a pleasure. So.
Great stuff. So tell us about your influence and stuff. What was it got you into blues music?
The first guy that, well, first of all, my parents, you know, they had a great record collection. Rory Gallagher, Eric Clapton, Hendrix, Gary Moore, who we were talking about off camera earlier, and then a guy called Walter Trout, who kind of took me under his wing and mentored me. He played guitar for John Lee Hooker and John Mayall and lots of people like that. So I had a good, you know, a good musical upbringing.
So how did the kind of big break happen? Obviously you put together a band.
I put together a band with my dad playing bass and a guy that lived like same age as me that lived, this was when I was like 17, right, that lived sort of 4 doors up. And we started by playing the pubs, you know, just the local pubs, yeah, to me. But it was sort of 5 nights a week, you know, within a 20-mile radius, and it just built from there. And then we went to Europe, and I signed my first record deal, and it all seems sort of organic now. I mean, it wasn't really ever planned. It just, you know, one thing flowed into another, and I'm 37, but it's like I've been doing it 20 years professionally next year.
Wow.
Yeah.
And there's a really good blues scene, isn't there, in the UK at the minute?
There is. It's really healthy at the moment, which is good. I think it's harder, like I said, with the pubs starting out now, because I think the licensing, yeah, has changed and things like that. But it's good. And I believe you have a good scene in Northern Ireland as well.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of festivals popping up all the time.
You've got the Empire, which is great. You've got Rab McCulloch.
Yeah.
You've got some great acts, you know.
Yeah. So when you come back, you are playing the Empire. We mentioned it there.
I am, yes, I am.
You're playing Dublin as well, 12th
yeah,
and 13th of June, I believe.
I think that is the date, so it's all on DannyBryant.com, but yes, yeah, always a pleasure. Both those shows we've done before, and always great fun.
And what can we expect from the show? Are you bringing the big band with you?
It will be a 4-piece, but we'll be playing songs from Revelation, which is the new album, and from the back catalogue as well, because when we put like 6 new songs in we don't want to take too many of the old ones out, so it's always about a balance.
Of course, yeah. And then what about the rest of the year? Are you doing some big summer festivals this year?
I'm doing a lot of festivals, a lot of touring. We have about 100 shows, and the festivals are always fun because that's the one time you get to kind of see the other bands and people you cross paths with. Maybe once every 2 years or something, but you know, you make friends quickly when you don't see people that often. So that's always good fun.
Is there any kind of up-and-coming bands that you've seen recently who we should be looking out for?
There's so many good ones, you know. King's a great band. I don't know if you've seen them.
I've heard of them, yeah.
There's a guy from Warren Point called James Sands. He's a really good guitar player. He's his daddy and runs the blues festival in Warren Point, and a band called the Blues Cats. So there's some good people.
Great stuff. So tell us again, when can we get our hands on the new album?
April the 20th.
April the 20th. And of course, you can catch Danny at Whelan's in Dublin on the 12th of June and here in Belfast at the Empire on the 13th of June. So that's all we have time for this week. Join me again next week when we'll have some more great live music guests here in the studio.